All right, all right. Sorry we're a little bit late. My guest today is Al Stasek from Cleveland, Ohio, and we're going to talk about some things in a minute. First, let's check out this video.
This is Honey Badger Nation,
where real estate agents from around the globe come together
to grow, collaborate,
and expand their business.
Where we take our individual fires and put them together and make one big fire.
This is the Honey Badger Nation.
All right, all right. Well, thanks for coming on, Al. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your history. Like I know more about you, but my audience doesn't. So how did you get into real estate? What's that kind of look like?
Thanks, Ed. Yeah, man. I've been at the game for a while now. Feels like a few decades because it has been. It's since 1998. I was licensed. I started out as Century 21, really just because my dad was a part-time agent there. So I kind of grew up going into that office as a little boy. That's all I really remember. He would go into the office after his blue-collar job. He'd go in, he'd get whatever he needed to get done, and then get out. So I just kind of joined them. Kind of fast forward, I was in a couple startups, and then in 2007, I joined Remax. That's when I decided that I really needed to do something big with my career. I was making good money. That was never really the issue, but I needed more time. So I started a team with Remax in 2007. I didn't know what was about to happen, but the real estate market was about to collapse. So that was an interesting little juggle that I did there for a minute. But came out of it bumped and bruised. But the coolest thing that came out of that was in 2009, 2010. I met Jay Kinder and Mike Reese. They're marketing geniuses if you don't know who they are. But somehow they ended up in my inbox. And what they started to do was, and this is just a marketing principle for your audience to, this is a writer downer, is that when you're looking to build trust with an audience and market to them, one of the strategies is to help them, prove to them that you can help them by actually helping them before money exchanges hands. And that's just a way you can build trust with an audience that doesn't necessarily know you. So Mike and Jay did that for me just through videos. And they gave me, a few videos that I watched. I literally just took them back and implemented them. One was on how to make $250,000 on just FSBOs. And I just basically did exactly what they told me to do. Didn't try to think up a new way to invent the wheel. I just did exactly. I said exactly what they said to say, exactly how to say it. And it was like magic. It worked. So I started scaling my business up, ended up hiring them as my coaches, and ultimately opened my own brokerage up in 2013. And I merged that brokerage in 2017 into the absolute hands down best real estate brokerage in the world, eXp Realty, which brings us to our, where we're at today.
Right. So as you were growing, you were one of the top agents, winning all kinds of awards and Remax, and you were on top of the game. So.
Yeah, I mean, we were winning awards, and it's funny you say that, Ed, because I actually always keep this close by. This is the Remax Hall of Fame pin. I think you can read that, and everyone can see that. It's got that beautiful fake ruby in there. And the thing with this is that it was fun to get. When it comes to recognition, it's a big deal. There's a saying, they say the babies die for it. No, I'm sorry. Men die for it and babies cry for it. And that's recognition. That's why it's so important. But this type of recognition is only going to go so far, because I could take this down to my bank and try to deposit it. And they're not going to accept this as a deposit because it doesn't have any intrinsic value. In other words, it's worth nothing. And so when it comes to the awards that I've gotten over the years, the best awards that I've ever gotten came from the company that we're at right now that rewards me in ownership. You see, when I first joined, I didn't have the money, nor was I lucky enough to just be timed right to get any ownership in any of the brokerages that I worked for. I was always working to make someone else wealthy. I was always working my tail off to try to sell as many houses to put residual passive income in my broker's bank account, but never in my own. And so I was just working my bone, just my tail off, to the bone, and never seeing really anything of a sellable asset that I could even at one day maybe pass down to my kids, until I saw the EXP platform and made the decision after, much research. And I literally moved my brokerage over in 2017. Now those stock awards are all starting to vest, and it's looking a lot better than a bunch of these or awards on my wall.
Especially when you got them years ago before the stock skyrocketed. So you basically formed a team early on, and then you must have had some challenges, in doing that, and that's not an easy task, correct?
Well, yeah, it's nothing's easy worth doing, Ed, but I believe that when you're financially aligned with the right mentors, the right coaches, that your life and your business is impacted in a big way. And what we found is the problem with the whole coaching business per se is that you almost have to get yourself to a certain level of production to where you can even afford a coach. You can even afford the training and the coaching that you're going to need to fast track from A to B. So, again, I believe that everyone's where we're at right now, we call A, and everyone's got a B. So the question for your audience is what does your B look like? What specifically is that? And what we use is what's called a clarity report to get clear on what that B is. Once you get clarity on where you're going, what is your A to B? Where you're at right now, A, what does B look like? The next question is, how can we get there in the shortest period of time? How can we achieve whatever that B is in the shortest period of time? And what I found, the best vehicle to do that is to just model success from a coach or a mentor. The problem is you have to get to a certain, the best coaches are not cheap. We currently are coaching with the 2 top coaches in the United States right now. We're fortunate enough and blessed enough that we can stroke that check to them. But the agents that are just starting out, they don't have that disposable income where they can just write a check that's sometimes in excess of what their house payment is to pay a good coach to help get them to that B quick. So the cool thing that Michael Reese, Jay Kinder, myself, John Kitchens, what we've created is a platform that we can deliver the value to agents who want to grow. And now there's no shortcut to success, but what we found is that if we have someone that basically they own 3 qualities that are going to be required for success: hungry, humble, and they're open-minded, and they're coachable, right? And so if they're hungry, they're humble, and they're open-minded and coachable, we can help them double their business and then double it again. That's not a problem. That's not the elusive problem that real estate agents have. Their problem is, how do I double my business from where I currently am without spending a fortune? And so
Right.
we've really been able to do that through the EXP platform, and literally with agents partnering with us, give them all the tools, training, coaching that they need to take their business to that next level without them having to stroke, get their credit card out and pay us money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the collaboration is key at EXP, and it's just nobody really notices it. Like, they're like, well, what do you mean? Well, you don't notice it until you're here. It's like just getting, access to these names that you're mentioning: John Kitchens, Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, Al Stasek. You guys are killing it. It's great to see the information that you're posting out there, and really willing to help everybody grow.
Well, I see the one big fire down here, and talk about collaboration, and that's really where the one big fire concept came from. We were in Aspen, Colorado, at one of our masterminds, and Jay stood up in front of all of us, and he had an opportunity to present to us, and that opportunity was all of us working together in that mastermind. Not that we, weren't already collaborating, because we were, but we all owned separate brokerages. We all owned separate teams or businesses, all in different geographic areas. So we weren't competing against each other. We were actually helping each other grow.
Right.
But what we weren't is we were not financially aligned. So Jay and Michael envisioned a new real estate model that they attempted to build out with us called NAEA Partner. And we were about 18 months into building that model out, kept hitting brick wall after brick wall after brick wall when we saw what Glenn Stanford built with the EXP platform. And we were really blown away. Never saw anything like it. So much so that we stopped what we were doing in our tracks and aligned with Glenn. We aligned with his vision. And we've been able to do more in the last 4 years than it would have taken us 8 to 10 years to do. And we may not even have achieved where we're at right now with the level of profitability and scalability that the platform has been able to give us to our business.
Right. It definitely would have been a challenge. So for the audience, Albie mentioned NAEA. That's the National Association of Expert Advisors that was formed by Jay Kinder and Michael Reese. Powerful group of minds there, and information that we all have access to. So you're still coaching. You're still getting coaching even at the high levels that you guys are building.
Yep. We recently just hired one of the top business and sales coaches in the world, Michael Burt, Coach Burt. And, literally met him in Nashville in July, and met with them afterwards and said, look, man, we believe that every agent needs a good coach. We also believe that we have over 8,500 to 9,000 agents in our organization, most of which who can't afford you. So what we'd like to do is hire you to not just coach us, but coach our entire organization, help us build a system that they can use to duplicate our efforts so that they can see success, and that they can ultimately, build their own passive income stream that can help them get financially free. And he agreed, and it's been a great relationship. Another one of our coaches is John Sheplack, who I've been coaching with since 2016, arguably the most sought after, coach in real estate business and recruiting that's out there. And we really are always, we learn. One of our core values is learn like you're going to live forever, which means you never stop learning. You never stop seeking to be better, a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. And so, we invest in ourselves. We invest in our organization and our team, so that, we want to be able to provide the best environment for success. That really is the goal. We can't force anybody to drink the water, but we can provide the environment for them to have all the resources that they need to grow their business and get financially free. And
I'll tell you right now, that is very appreciative from all of us. You guys have built a tremendous organization within the EXP platform. If anybody wants to know how that works, hit me up down at the bottom at english.me and we'll set up a call. But you guys amaze me, and you continue to amaze me, because you just keep on plugging. Even as big as you've gotten it, just keep on plugging. And it really, a lot of it started with Al here. You were one of the integral founders of Honey Badger Nation, and Honey Badger Nation is a powerful group, and it's definitely making an impact on a lot of lives. Myself is one of them, but not as much as some of the younger crowd, right? Because I'm at the tail end of my career, but I never saw a model like this. It was unbelievable when somebody showed it to me. I'm like, holy crap! I left my broker after 29 years at the same broker. I'm like, wow, this is not the usual brokerage. It's it's advanced, it's innovative, and that's why I'm here. But,
so Ed, 29 years with the same broker. I mean, that's
yes, sir.
I really, I could count on one hand how many times I've actually heard that. What was the single reason? What was the, once you see it, you can't unsee it. What was it that you saw that you couldn't unsee? What part of the model really stuck? Because what I found is that what you just said, people don't leave their broker because they're happy. They like their broker. It's not like they have a bad broker. They actually have a really nice person, girl, guy, sometimes it's a family-owned brokerage, and there's that deep, deep connection. We hear about that all the time. If you were there for 29 years, I have to believe you had a connection with the broker ownership or the management, that they did a good job. Because if they didn't do a good job, you wouldn't have stuck around for 29 years. What was it that you saw that you couldn't unsee, that you left a 29-year relationship?
Well, for one, it was, yes, it was a great brokerage, and it still is. It's just times have changed. This is a new progressive model. And basically what I liked the most about EXP when I decided to make the move was the transparency. It's everybody's on the same playing field. They all start at the same level. It doesn't matter if you sold 100 million last year or 2 million last year. You start at the same split. You have the same cap. There's no special deals. That's the reason I came. I didn't even come for the stock or the revenue share, which are amazing opportunities. I now have stock that I never would have had. I never had from my old broker. That wasn't the model. Revenue share, that's just unbelievable. So, nobody had that. I felt that all the other brokers that were trying to recruit me year after year after year were pretty much the same. I'm like, why would I go there? It's a lateral move. Like, there's no reason for me to go there. They're all the same. And I know what they all want, and they want profit. So, and you can't blame them. That's the way the model was. That's the way that brokerage was built. But as time went on, things changed, and this, like you said, Glenn came up with a new concept. It's agent centric.
Absolutely. Best model we've ever seen, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me on, Ed.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy. On again with we'll share in the boats next time. All right.
Hey, that'd be
Thanks,
fun.
Al.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
you got it, buddy. Take
exactly.
care.
All right, guys. Take care.